Hello guys, that house that you build in Nigeria, that house is not yours. The house that you use your personal money to build in Nigeria, that house is not yours, except you have what we call certificate of occupancy, C of O, certificate of occupancy. What most of us normally have is what is called deal of transfer. It is this one some of us parade around thinking this is what gives you the ownership of that house. This is just a deal between you and the person that sold that land for you. The deal that happened, that transaction, this is the document that represents that transaction. This is not what gives you the full ownership. So if it's just this particular deal of transfer you've been parading around as your house document, my sister, this is not the house document. You are supposed to have what we call certificate of occupancy, this type of certificate, and it's being given to you by the governor of that state. This is the signature of the governor of my state where I got this particular property. The governor has to personally sign on that document and give it to you. That is what we call certificate of occupancy. So if you don't have this, if the only thing you have is this one, you don't have a house yet. You only built a house. That house is not for you, and anything can happen to that house. In Nigeria, it is the governor of a state that owns land. Until the governor gives you that certificate of occupancy, that property becomes yours. When you want to build a house, you see a land you want to buy. After you buy that land, you are supposed to go to the Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development Office in your state. You go to that office, tell them you want to do certificate of occupancy. They tell you to bring this, to bring that, to bring this. Then they give you the certificate of occupancy. It is after you've acquired that you are supposed to start building. But some of the mistake we make is that we start building, we even finish building the house before we now go and ask for certificate of occupancy, which is very wrong. The danger in it is that you can get there tomorrow, like you watching me now, that your house that you think you have, you might go and do certificate of occupancy there. Now you discover that that house, that property, that land is not your own. You can argue, you can say, no, the person that sold the land for me, I trust the person, it was my mother, it was my father. It is when you go to this office, this thing will be discovered. We have seen situations where a governor will just come and destroy a full building. The owner of that building will come to social media and start crying. The governor can be able to do that most of the time because the person does not have this certificate of occupancy. If you can have a certificate of occupancy, even the governor cannot do anything to that house. If the governor must do anything to that house, must destroy that house, the governor must compensate you for that building. He must pay you the money for that building before they can destroy that house, because it was the same governor that gave you the certificate of occupancy to own that particular property. Some people, some big churches will go to some communities, they will buy big acres of land. It could be like 2-3 acres of land. They will do certificate of occupancy on that land. Then the community chairman of that land will take this land and start selling it again to you, to me. We will just buy this land. They will give us, what they will give us is just this deal of transfer. After the deal of transfer, we will start building, not knowing that that particular land belongs to a big church. It is when you now go to the office of physical planning and urban development, you will now discover that no, that land belongs to somebody else. It has been registered for a very long time ago. This particular deal of transfer can be produced anywhere. You can call any lawyer to produce this one for you, to be able to produce it. But this one can never be produced by any person except the government. This one is registered in that state database. If you go to my state now and put my name in their database, you will see all the property that I own in that state. But you that have 2 houses, that have 3 houses, if they put your name on that database, you'll be shocked, nothing will show. That is to say, as of today, you don't own any property in that particular state. So for you to avoid this, rush to that office now and make sure you do your certificate of occupancy that gives you the authentic ownership to those properties. Thank you and God bless you.